Around 12,000 years ago, a monumental shift occurred that would forever alter the trajectory of human history. Humans began transitioning from a nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyle to a settled agricultural one. This change allowed them to cultivate crops and domesticate animals, ensuring a more reliable food source. This significant transformation, known as the Neolithic Revolution, marked a period of great innovation and adaptation as humans learned to harness nature's power. The revolution wasn't a single event, but a gradual process spanning thousands of years. Each generation built upon the knowledge and practices of the previous one. This transformation didn't happen everywhere simultaneously. Different groups around the world independently developed agriculture, showcasing the universal human drive to innovate and improve. The Neolithic Revolution wasn't just about farming. It also involved creating new tools and technologies, such as irrigation systems, making agriculture more efficient and sustainable. This turning point led to the development of villages, towns, and eventually cities. These growing settlements became centers of trade, culture, and governance. This new way of life brought dramatic changes in social organization, technology, and our relationship with the natural world. People began forming more complex societies with distinct social hierarchies and cultural practices. The impacts of this revolution are still felt today. Modern agriculture, urbanization, and technological advancements all have their roots in the Neolithic era. It's no exaggeration to say that the Neolithic Revolution laid the foundation for modern civilization. The innovations and changes that began thousands of years ago continue to shape our world profoundly. The Neolithic Revolution also spurred the development of early writing systems and trade routes, facilitating communication and exchange between distant communities. Monumental architecture and early forms of governance emerged, reflecting the increasing complexity and organization of human societies. The technological advancements that began in the Neolithic era have evolved into the sophisticated systems we rely on today, from digital agriculture to urban planning. The societal changes initiated during the Neolithic Revolution have led to the diverse cultural practices, social structures, and global connectivity that define our modern world. The legacy of this transformative period is a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. For millions of years, humans lived as hunter-gatherers, constantly moving in search of food. They relied on their skills and knowledge of the land to find sustenance, navigating through forests, plains, and mountains. They foraged for berries, nuts, and edible plants, and hunted animals using primitive tools and weapons. Their survival depended on their ability to adapt to the changing seasons and the availability of resources. Constantly on the move, they followed migrating herds and seasonal growths, hunting animals and gathering wild plants. Their lives were dictated by the rhythms of nature, requiring them to be highly adaptable to survive the harsh and unpredictable environment. The shift to agriculture was revolutionary. Instead of chasing after food, humans could now grow it. This monumental change allowed them to settle in one place and build communities. They began to cultivate crops like wheat, barley, and rice, providing a more reliable and abundant food source. This agricultural revolution transformed human society. With the ability to grow their own food, humans could produce surplus crops, leading to the development of storage techniques and the concept of food security. They also domesticated animals such as sheep, goats, and cattle, which provided not only meat but also milk, wool, and labor for farming. The domestication of plants involved selecting the best seeds from wild plants and replanting them, gradually leading to crops that were more productive and easier to harvest. With a surplus of food, populations began to grow, communities expanded, and people no longer needed to be constantly on the move in search of sustenance. They could settle in one place, leading to the establishment of permanent homes and the development of villages. These villages became the foundation for more complex societies, with the development of social structures, trade, and cultural practices. This led to the establishment of permanent villages where people could live, work, and raise families in a stable environment. These villages grew into larger settlements, marking the beginning of human civilization as we know it. The dawn of agriculture was not just a change in how humans obtained food, it was the foundation of modern society. The Neolithic era marked a pivotal shift in human history, driven by the creation of new tools and technologies. These innovations significantly boosted efficiency and productivity in farming. Plows were developed to till the land, and sickles were crafted to harvest crops more effectively. Irrigation systems were engineered to ensure a consistent water supply for crops. The domestication of animals brought about new tools and farming techniques. Oxen were trained to pull plows, enabling the cultivation of larger areas of land. The invention of the wheel and axle revolutionized transportation, making it easier to move goods. This advancement allowed farmers to transport their harvests more efficiently and engage in trade with neighboring communities. These technological improvements not only increased food production, but also freed up time for people to specialize in other crafts and skills. This specialization was essential in the development of more complex and advanced societies. Trade during the Neolithic era was a cornerstone of human socio-economic progress, enabling the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Neolithic communities established both local and long-distance trade networks to meet their economic needs and strengthen cultural connections. Trade was primarily conducted through barter systems, where goods or services were directly exchanged without the use of money. Unlike modern monetary systems, bartering required mutual agreement on the value of the exchanged items. Commonly traded items included stone tools like axes and blades, pottery, textiles, and decorative objects. For example, a farmer might trade surplus grain with a potter for ceramic vessels. These exchanges required negotiation skills and a deep understanding of each other's needs. The trade practices of the Neolithic period laid the groundwork for complex societies and the interconnected world we know today, highlighting the crucial role of social interaction and resource distribution in shaping modern commerce. Chapter 5: From Simple to Complex Societies. The advent of agriculture marked a dramatic transformation in human societies. The need to organize labor, manage resources, and maintain order in these larger settled communities led to the development of complex social structures. Villages expanded into towns, and towns evolved into cities. Political systems emerged, with leaders responsible for governing these growing populations. Religion became more organized, with priests and temples playing central roles in society. Social hierarchies developed, with certain individuals and groups holding more power and status. This period saw the rise of kings, priests, and nobles who controlled surplus resources and wielded significant influence. Chapter 6: The Seeds of Inequality. The Neolithic Revolution brought many advancements, but it also sowed the seeds of social inequality. Control over surplus resources, like land and grain, led to disparities in wealth and power. This control enabled certain individuals to accumulate wealth and influence, giving rise to elites. Labor specialization further deepened social hierarchies, with some jobs seen as more prestigious than others. Women, who were vital in hunter-gatherer societies, often saw their status decline in agricultural communities. They were increasingly confined to domestic roles, while men took on more public and influential positions. The Neolithic Revolution, despite its progress, marked the beginning of social stratification and inequality, affecting various groups and shaping human history for millennia. Chapter 7: A World of Different Paths. The Neolithic Revolution was not a uniform process. It varied greatly across different regions. Agriculture emerged independently in various parts of the world at different times. The types of crops and animals domesticated were influenced by each region's unique climate and geography. For instance, wheat and barley were first cultivated in the Fertile Crescent, while rice was domesticated in China. This diversity in agriculture led to a variety of cultural practices and societal structures. Different communities developed unique technologies and tools tailored to their environments. In some areas, agriculture spurred the rise of large centralized empires, while in others it led to smaller, more decentralized societies. The Neolithic Revolution was a global phenomenon, but it unfolded uniquely in each region, shaped by local conditions, cultural influences, and social structures. Chapter 8: Surplus, Inequality and Progress. The surplus food generated by agriculture profoundly transformed human societies. It enabled population growth and the specialization of labor, which in turn sparked technological innovation and cultural development. However, this surplus also led to greater social stratification and inequality. Elites emerged, controlling surplus resources and wielding power over others. This inequality, while problematic, also drove progress. Competition for resources and status among elites spurred innovation and new technologies. It also led to the growth of cities and the expansion of trade networks, connecting different parts of the world. The Neolithic Revolution was a double-edged sword, bringing both progress and inequality. The relationship between surplus production, social inequality and progress was complex, profoundly shaping the development of Neolithic societies. Chapter 9. A Legacy that Endures. The Neolithic Revolution was a turning point in human history, marking a significant shift in how humans lived and interacted with their environment. Beginning around 10,000 BC, this era saw humans transition from nomadic hunter-gatherers to settled agriculturalists. This transformation was not just about farming, it was about creating a new way of life. It laid the groundwork for the development of civilization as we know it, with cities, technologies, and complex social structures. Permanent settlements allowed for the accumulation of resources, leading to trade, the division of labor, and the rise of social hierarchies. The legacy of this revolution is still evident today in countless ways. The food we eat, the clothes we wear, and the houses we live in all trace back to the innovations of the Neolithic era. The domestication of plants and animals provided a stable food supply, supporting population growth and the development of complex societies. The houses we live in today, whether in bustling cities or quiet suburbs, have their origins in the early dwellings of the Neolithic people. These early homes were more than just shelters. They were the centers of family life and community. Even the challenges we face today, such as social inequality and environmental degradation, have roots in this period of profound change. The shift to agriculture created surplus resources, but also led to unequal distribution and environmental impacts that we are still grappling with. Understanding the Neolithic Revolution is not just about understanding the past, it's about understanding the present and shaping the future. By studying this pivotal era, we can gain insights into the origins of our modern world and learn valuable lessons for addressing today's challenges. The enduring legacy of the Neolithic Revolution continues to influence our lives, reminding us of the profound and lasting impact of this transformative period in human history. As Neolithic societies progressed, they established extensive trade routes to obtain materials not found locally. These routes enabled the large-scale movement of goods, often following natural waterways or well-trodden paths. Key trade items included obsidian, valued for its sharpness, sourced from volcanic regions; flint, essential for tool-making, widely distributed from various deposits; jade, used in ornamental and ceremonial objects, often signifying status. Due to the difficulty of land travel, waterways became the preferred routes for transporting bulk goods like stone and wood. These trade routes not only facilitated the exchange of materials, but also the spread of ideas, technologies, and cultural practices. Through trade, Neolithic societies became interconnected, laying the foundation for the complex economic systems we have today. The development of trade networks marked a significant milestone in human progress, showcasing the ingenuity and adaptability of our ancestors. By navigating vast distances and overcoming geographical challenges, they demonstrated the enduring human spirit of exploration and innovation. The foundations of our modern interconnected world can be traced back to these early trade routes, highlighting the profound impact of Neolithic advancements on human history. Trade in the Neolithic era was more than just an economic activity. It was a vital means for social interaction and cultural exchange. By engaging with neighboring communities, Neolithic people shared ideas, beliefs, and innovations. Festivals and trade gatherings were key cultural events where people from different areas came together to celebrate, exchange goods, and share stories. Marriages and alliances often strengthened ties between groups, weaving a web of interconnected communities. Artistic styles and technologies spread through these trade networks. For instance, pottery styles found across vast regions during the Neolithic period often showed similarities, indicating that these artifacts spread through trade and social connections. The exchange inherent in trade fostered the spread of technologies and innovations. As communities interacted, they adopted new techniques in agriculture, toolmaking, and construction, contributing to the overall advancement of Neolithic societies. The wheel revolutionized transportation and pottery, the plough enhanced agricultural productivity, and metalworking improved tools and weaponry. The spread of agricultural techniques such as irrigation reflects the interconnected nature of Neolithic societies facilitated by trade. Trade in the Neolithic period also significantly influenced the development of early political structures. As some communities controlled access to vital resources or advantageous trade routes, they gained power and influence over their neighbors. This control often translated into early forms of governance and social stratification, as the leaders of these communities accumulated wealth and materials. This process laid the foundation for more complex societies and hierarchical structures observed in later historical periods. Trade was thus a cornerstone of both economic and social evolution, serving as a catalyst for the transformation from nomadic lifestyles to settled agricultural communities with structured governance systems. Neolithic trade. Key takeaways. Neolithic trade definition. The exchange of goods and resources among communities during the Neolithic period, 10,000 to 4,500 BCE, enhancing cultural and economic development. Neolithic trade methods, conducted primarily through barter systems involving the direct exchange of goods and services without using currency. Items traded in the Neolithic era included flint, obsidian, jade, pottery, textiles, and ornamental items for both practical and decorative purposes. Reasons for Neolithic trade: motivated by the need for non-local resources, social interaction, the exchange of ideas and technologies, and improving the quality of life. Neolithic trade routes utilized waterways, coastal paths, and overland trails. Trade networks were sophisticated and extended over vast distances. Impact of trade on society facilitated technological and cultural exchanges, leading to social stratification and the development of early hierarchical societies. Trade was more than just an economic activity, it was a social and cultural phenomenon. When different communities interacted, they exchanged not only goods but also beliefs, customs, and technological innovations. These exchanges spread knowledge and cultural practices across regions, significantly impacting social development. Trade influenced social structures. Communities that controlled access to valuable resources often rose in status and power. For example, groups with access to obsidian deposits could influence neighboring tribes by controlling this valuable material. Trade became a tool for both cooperation and competition among early human societies. The cultural exchanges along trade routes enriched the tapestry of human experience. From spreading agricultural techniques to sharing spiritual beliefs, these interactions shaped human societies. The interconnectedness fostered by trade laid the foundation for future civilizations, showing that the flow of ideas and culture is as crucial to human progress as the exchange of goods. Reflecting on the legacy of Neolithic trade, we see its enduring impact on our modern world. The seeds of globalization were sown during these ancient exchanges, demonstrating the timeless human drive to connect, share, and innovate. Trade has always been a powerful force in shaping human history, highlighting the profound interconnectedness of our shared cultural heritage. Why did Neolithic people trade? Neolithic people traded to fulfill diverse needs that extended beyond mere survival. As communities advanced, they developed unique resources and skills which they exchanged to enhance their quality of life. The main drivers of Neolithic trade included the need for resources, social interaction, and the advancement of technology and cultural practices. Trade was not just about acquiring goods, it was also about fostering relationships and alliances. Through trade, Neolithic communities accessed resources not locally available, such as specific types of stone, metals, or food items from different regions. This access to varied resources allowed communities to build better tools, create sophisticated art, and improve agricultural practices. Moreover, trade provided opportunities for social interaction. These exchanges were often accompanied by gatherings, rituals, and feasts which strengthened social bonds and created a sense of community. Sharing goods was also a way to display generosity and build social capital, crucial for survival in times of scarcity. Technological and cultural advancements were significant drivers of trade. As communities exchanged goods, they also shared knowledge and innovations. This exchange of ideas led to new farming techniques, crafts, and the spread of religious and cultural practices. In this way, trade acted as a catalyst for progress, driving human societies toward greater complexity and interconnectedness. In conclusion, Neolithic people traded not only to meet material needs, but also to enrich their social and cultural lives. This multifaceted motivation for trade underscores the complexity and ingenuity of early human societies, highlighting their drive to connect, share, and innovate.